So Hannah, you've got two circles. You've got two circles in front of you here. They're both exactly the same size because we used the sour cream lid to cut them out. A refresher here. How many degrees are there in a circle? If I was to jump in a circle.
360.
360. So I want you to take a moment and just fold that circle in half. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be along the lines of the paper. You're just folding it in half. Okay, so now you said that leave it folded like that. Let's just put it down on the table. And if a circle has 360 degrees, what about half a circle? What if I was to jump and just face backwards? Well, we could use a calculator to help us, couldn't we?
You want to take 360, and how do we find half of it? Divide by 2. Divide by 2.
Yeah.
180.
180, let's write that down on a page. That means that half a circle, it's weird to think, you just broke your lid. Half a circle, whoa, that's gonna break, is 180 degrees. Okay, let's open up the circle again. Okay, and let's see that. Let's grab a ruler, flip that over. Let's draw a line across where you folded it, and we'll leave the 180 degrees alone because that could be helpful for us. Can you now fold it?
It's kind of like.
Oh, that's okay. We get the idea. Can you fold it the other way? You know, you folded it one way in half. Let's fold it the other way in half. And that way you're going to get a crease going the other direction. Let's take a look. Let's open that up so we can see the 180 degrees. Okay, now let's draw a line from where the center of your circle, right? From the center of your circle where it crosses your line.
That.
Yeah, put a dot right in the middle first. Okay, and we'll draw a line straight up along the crease that when you folded it the second time. Okay.
And down.
No, that's it. Just right to there. Okay. Now what you have done here is you've taken the circle and you folded it. Can you put a little square like from one line to the other? Because that's a special angle in math.
90.
It's, yeah, good one. It's 90. Because it's half of 180, isn't it? In fact, we've got 90, 90, 90, and 90 if you're looking at the angles here that are formed by the lines that you folded in center. And 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90 is, guess what that is?
360.
360. All right, so let's write 90 degrees right above that little square.
Right there?
Yeah, just 90 so you can read it and you remember that symbol means 90 degrees. Okay, so we got little tiny stroke, the world's tiniest 90. There it is. All right, I'm going to fold it back up both ways. I'm going to fold it in half and then fold it in half. Now I want you to fold it in half again. Okay, so let's see that folded totally in half. Like, yeah, you folded up. Now, can you unfold it for us a second slowly? Because you've finished folding it so fast. We didn't actually see what you did. So you folded it in half after you folded it in half after you folded it in half. Okay. Good. So when you finish that, you'll notice you've got these creases everywhere. And let's lay it flat and kind of smooth it out a bit. So if this was here, if I just look at this for a second, if this was 90 degrees, this angle here, but there's a line here that looks like it's bisecting it. Now that's a fancy word in math. It means that it cut it in half. What would if I can borrow your pencil here for a second, you can see that this, you hold the camera here for me for a second. You focus on what I'm doing here. If this is an angle, I should use a ruler here. Come on, Mr. Bird, just get with it. Use a ruler. Do it right. Okay. So, and I'm just going to make these lines a little thicker so that we can see them a little more easily. Okay. This was the original 90 degrees. It's a quarter of a circle. And when you folded it, it made this crease, and I just drew a line over it. So what's this angle then?
45.
Yeah, how do you know that? You're right.
Because it's half of 90.
It's half of 90, and so if you didn't know that, you have to grab a calculator, but you just did that in your head. That's 45 degrees. Okay, what about this angle then, right here?
Isn't it another 45?
That's another 45 degrees. So you've essentially, what you've got here is you've got, you know, all the way around the circle, you've got a 90, a 90, a 90, and another 90. Half a circle is 180, but now you got 45. Okay, last challenge. It's going to help us out. Let's fold it all up again. So you fold it in half, you fold it in half, you fold it in half. Can you fold it in half one more time so it's super tiny? Okay, let's do this kind of carefully. Now let's unfold. There's gonna be lines and folds everywhere. But, you know, after this point it'd be really hard to fold it anymore because it's so tiny. So I'm glad we used a sour cream lid because, you know, trying to fold a really small circle would have been hard. Okay, now, can you take your ruler and draw a line? Because it looks like when you folded that again, it bisected, oh, my finger's in the way. It bisected the 45-degree angle in half. So let's draw a line right through that, where that crease is, that goes right through the 45. And again, you'll do this at home to make your kind of makeshift protractor. Okay. Right through the middle of the 45. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. Now you've cut, let me zoom in on this. You've cut that 45-degree angle right in half. So if I borrow your pencil, what would this little sliver, oh my goodness, here, you're gonna have to help me with this. Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and, what would that angle be that represents the angle between these two lines? It would be 20, okay, you write that down. 22.5. That's quick math. And again, if you didn't know that, we're running out of lead here. If you didn't know that, you would have to get out a calculator and just divide it by 2. Okay, so you've got loads of angles here. You've got 180, which is half the circle. You've got 90 degrees, which represents a quarter of the circle. 45, which is half of a quarter. And 22.5, which is a half of a... Oh, okay, I'm getting a little confused here. But anyways, let's take a minute. I'm going to get you to cut these pieces out. I want you to have one of the pieces should be 180. One piece is 90. 145 and 122.5 degrees.
Oh, you can't even get into.
Alright, so Hannah finished cutting out all the pieces, and what you end up with is she kept half the circle, because that's 180 degrees. I don't know how often we'd use that, because it's kind of, most of us know that half a circle is 180, but if you don't have a protractor, you now have like a little tracer for 90 degrees. And you have another piece that's 45, and you end up with two 22.5 degree kind of slices when you cut it all up. And she's kind of carefully labeled everything. These will help us to figure out how to draw a circle and measure its degrees. In fact, we could even try to fold. We've got two 22.5 degrees. We could try, Hannah, to fold one of them in half. And I think this is easier to do once we'd cut it out, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Right? Because we don't need two 22.5 degree pieces. Let's open that up and we'll cut that in half. And what would that give us? Half of 22.5.
11.25.
Oh my, okay. That's really good math. 11.25. Okay, so we'll do that and we'll label it. Okay, so now if you needed to draw an angle, you have many angles here that could help you to draw an angle, and you also could put some together. So for example, what if you had an angle that was about 56 degrees? Well, you could take this little piece, 11.25, and you could put it together with the 45, and you would have sort of a little way to measure on your paper approximately a 56 degree angle. So we're going to demonstrate that in a few minutes here of how to use these pieces to help you create your pie graph.